crucification of truth and politicization of truth. We like to crucify good men whenever they speak up against an injustice or perceived things that appears not to be right in this society. In Nigeria, as a country today, we like to crucify them and also tying whatever agitations or positions they have to our politics. In the case of Sheyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, and Senator Aluyi Adams Shomole, senator representing Edo North here in Edo State. Let's get to hear first Sheyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State.
The circumstances surrounding this incident are sufficiently grave and unusual to warrant independent scrutiny beyond our domestic institutions. I therefore, with a full sense of responsibility as the executive governor of Oyo State, call on the appropriate international human rights and accountability mechanisms, including those within the United Nations system, to closely examine the facts surrounding this abduction and the circumstances of its resolution. Such scrutiny is not intended to undermine our institutions. Rather, it is intended to reinforce public confidence that the truth will be established and that every person found to bear responsibility, regardless of office, influence, or affiliation, will be held accountable. Under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the primary responsibility for national security rests with the federal government and the security agencies under its command. The Nigerian people, therefore, deserve a full and transparent account of what happened, who was responsible, whether there were institutional failures, negligence, or collusion at any level, and what measures must now be taken to ensure that no community is ever subjected to such an ordeal again. This is not about politics. It is about justice for the victims, reassurance for our people, and restoring public confidence that every Nigerian child can go to school.
Mr. President, I read this morning in newspapers, and I've seen it even with the electronic. The governor of Oyo State calling on the United Nations to investigate the overall circumstances surrounding the kidnap and even the rescue. I thought that was the most unstatemanly. He was carrying partisan politics too far, and this Senate should condemn his unguided statement. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. When we wake up and call on foreign authorities to investigate, this is one case in which our armed forces have shown that without paying ransom, even if it meant that these children and some of the elders had to be in captivity for almost 2 months, that the armed forces were working quietly to have these rescue operations, which, as well captured in this motion, led to some loss of life. To trivialize it, to suggest, as the governor of Oyo State seems to have done, that there is something that is not open, that the UN needs to unearth the circumstances, is to question the sovereignty of our nation and to downplay the achievement of the commander-in-chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and all the service chiefs, and in fact all those involved in this process. I think that there is a moment in the history of a nation when, across party divide, we should stand in unison to commend what has happened, the way in which people were released, and to encourage the armed forces to build on it, that they should extend and get more gadgets. It's not possible for them to share with us some of the things they did. Like I heard, they were able to identify the guys, arrest some of their relatives, etc., etc. These are not details that we're interested in. Very good point. But I want...
You're welcome back from that break. After I've listened to what Makinde said and Senator Adams, what is the problem in what Makinde has just said? Has he committed any offense for wanting international community to, look at what has happened in his own state, where he happens to be the governor. In this country, good men are often being unduly crucified. Senator Adams Oshiomhole, sir, when Donald Trump some months ago declared Nigeria as a country of particular concern, you are still a member of this same assembly. You never rose up. You people never attacked Donald Trump. Oh, is the president of United States of America, the world president? So why do we want to unduly having the truth and real reality being suppressed? This is not going to be good for us as members who are right thinking of this great country, Nigeria. Are we going to now have Makinde unduly crucified because perhaps he's not a member of All Progressives Congress? The Bible says, only righteousness will exalt a nation. Sin will bring about reproach. When people speak and airing their mind, we want to have them unduly buried. This is not good for us. This will not help us as people of a nation. I'm sure this is why Nigeria is not growing. We're not really developing. For how long are we going to remain a developing nation? Is Nigeria actually a sovereign nation with all this we are experiencing? Kidnapping, insurgency, banditry. So when are we going to have a true sovereign nation? So if we do not have a sovereign nation, we just having sovereign nation in just mere documents. It's not really the reality on ground. So we can reach out to Donald Trump. In fact, I'm even calling on Donald Trump to come rescue us against against 2027 general presidential election or whatever election we're going to be experiencing there. We need Donald Trump to come. We want the developed nations. We want United Nations to come. Developing societies to come and assisting us. We cannot continue in this trajectory Nigeria is currently traveling on. We cannot have these people suppressed and oppressed for coming up with true position, true realities of how things be turned upside down in this great country in Nigeria. I remind you much of 7 again, the president in ITV and radio. Thank you.